more than 1.7 lakh, 6 lakh voters who are 18 to 19 years as per the SSR. And friends, as I mentioned in one of the conferences earlier also, we have enabled these 17 plus voters, those who are of 17 years age and not yet 18, to give us advance applications, so that उनकी applications को हम अपने पास रखें process करके, और जैसे ही वो 18 साल के हों, उनको हम वोटर कार्ड दे दें, साथ में एक वेलकम किट दे दें. So you would be happy to know that approximately 10,000 youths have registered with us in these 3 states who are between 17 to 18 years. So these 3 states, 62.8 lakh voters combinedly are ready to go to vote, and we request all of them to participate in the elections ethically, freely, and in large numbers. If we come to the polling stations accordingly, how do we conduct this in how many polling stations? The total number of polling stations, state-wise list is here to you, the bifurcation, which you can use, which we will put it on our website and social media also, so that you can use these charts. 9,125 polling stations, and these are 634 more than 2018. Because of the geography of these states, it's around 82% in the rural areas. And we have mandated that 50% of the polling stations would be webcasted. In this case, the arrangements have been made for 73% webcasting of 73% polling stations across these 3 states. Friends, our emphasis now, after I covered the roll part of it, so now from roll to poll. So as I mentioned earlier also, our basic contact with the voters is twofold. At the time of registering them, that is getting entry into the roll, and then at the time of polling. So roll I mentioned recently, just in the briefing. The polling part I will mention now. How do we make their polling easy and a and a kind of a festive? So in these states, there would be 376 polling stations, which would just be managed by our women officers, including the women police personnel. So entire booth, including the security, would be managed by the women staff. And similarly, PWDs will manage the polling stations, and there would be model polling stations which would also have some kind of environmental friendly material used inside. और मॉडर्न पोलिंग स्टेशंस में बहुत प्रयास लोग कर रहे हैं अच्छा करने का, कहीं पर क्रैच भी बना रहे हैं, ताकि जो महिला मतदाता आते हैं बच्चों को साथ में लेके, तो वो भी उनको they feel a very kind of a congenial environment to vote. As you might recall, we have also started a practice to encourage our youth who are not so much into, there is some kind of youth apathy which we are struggling with. तो हमने जो हमारे यंग एम्प्लॉइज हैं उनके माध्यम से भी जो अभी रिक्रूट हुए हैं, ये गुजरात और हिमाचल में भी ये प्रक्रिया अपनाई थी, अब उसको आगे बढ़ाते हुए यहाँ भी बूथ्स जो हैं वो यंग एम्प्लॉइज के द्वारा मैनेज होंगे. Needless to say that in all the polling stations we will have 100% assured minimum facilities, which include, all of them are ground floor. There would be ramp, there would be accessible, there would be water, there would be electricity, there would be toilet, and there would be a volunteer to help our PWD voters and also our senior citizens. Again, needless to say that if somebody has by chance does not have EPIC card, any of these 12 documents can be used. We are just showing it to you so that you can popularize them, put them on through your mediums also. As usual, we would like to again mention you that we salute our heroes of democracy. These are our 80 plus and 100 plus voters. And to give you a glimpse of the beautiful states of Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland, these are our old voters, very respected voters, very happy voters. It's a very happy feeling to talk to them whenever we go. And The Form 12D would be available to them in these 3 states also from the 5th day onwards after nomination. And as usual, our entire team will go and take their vote with a full security, in which the polling parties will go and the polling agents of the candidates would also be allowed to accompany. Again, this would be applicable to 2600 100 plus of our centenarian voters. The candidates or their agents would all go together, can go accompany to the house of the voter, so that there is no allegation of any compromise. Just to mention here, फेक न्यूज़ थोड़ा फैलाने वाले भी नए नए तरीके ढूंढते हैं. तो अभी पिछले इलेक्शन में एक एक्सपीरियंस आया था कि किसी ने कहा एक कमरे में बूथ बना के और एक वीडियो चलाई कि ये वोटर्स को ओल्ड एज के कंप्रोमाइज हो गया, वोट कोई और डाल रहा है. तो इंक्वायरी कराई तो पता लगा कि वो तो कोई और जगह थी. तो हमने इसके लिए एक नया और रास्ता निकाला है. वो जैसे जैसे नए तरीके ढूंढते हैं हम भी काउंटर करते हैं. तो हमारा तरीका निकाला है कि जो भी घर में जाएंगे, अब जो पोलिंग कंपार्टमेंट सेट करेंगे उसमें असेंबली नंबर भी लिखा रहेगा स्टिकर के रूप में, सो दैट कोई अगर फेक चलाने की कोशिश भी करता है तो एटलीस्ट वो एक ही जगह का होगा. पूरे उसमें तो हमें मालूम ही नहीं हुआ कि किस कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी की बात कर रहे हैं. सो नाउ द कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंसी नंबर and booth number will also be pasted on the compartment, so that we are sure that there is no fakeness into this, if at all there is a photo. So there would be a sticker attached to this. Friends, there would be 31,700 PWD voters. And these, as I mentioned, they also have the same facility. Ramps are being constructed. And another thing which we want to report to you, we are making another effort. The drinking water, electricity, ramp, why not get them permanently in these schools through the medium of our elections? So we are insisting everywhere that please do not create temporary facilities to the extent possible. In any case, let this be a gift to the schools from the election process, that they get separate toilets for boys and girls, electricity, furniture, and the ramp for the students who could be otherwise suffering, having any kind of disability. So budgets are being sanctioned by all these states, and we have been promised that they will try and get the permanent structures to the extent possible, so that we don't review all the time, and we guarantee that all our polling stations, the schools, are now PWD friendly with electricity and with toilets. The Commission has also, as you know, provided the Saksham app. They can book any facility which they want, from the volunteers to the tricycle or whatever they want, wheelchair, that can also be made available. दिल्ली में बैठ के हम लोग जब इलेक्शंस की बात करते हैं तो एक डिफरेंट पिक्चर नज़र में आती है. तो इन दिस प्रेजेंटेशन, एंड टू मेक इट लिटिल मोर grounded, we are trying to show you how it looks where the elections are going to happen, and how tough it is, how different it is from our perspective, how difficult it is to conduct election in these states for the personals who are involved in this. You would see the polling station on the slide here. This is at the top of a foothill called the Mount Saramati in Nagaland. And you can imagine how difficult would it be for the polling parties to go. The second one which you are seeing is very interesting. This is on the border of Myanmar, and the line, the division line, passes through the house of the head of the village. So his house is half this side, half this side. So that's the interesting picture we thought we'll show you to make it little more visually appealing to you. How they conduct elections in places like Meghalaya. Please see how difficult it is. Somewhere there are temporary booths, temporary bridges of bamboo which are made. I'll show you a small video how do they walk this time. Look at the next slide, in which polling stations and families in Tripura, this is from Tripura, half them going by kind of boats and into the inhabited, less habited, inaccessible islands also. So friends, imagine the BLOs, the polling personals who go and get involved in this activity. Forests, tough terrains, the bridges which are temporary, hill areas. And what happens? They actually deserve our appreciation. So this is what I wanted to brief and show you this. Friends, just to take you a little back, in last 2 years we have had assembly elections to 13 states, starting from Bihar during the pandemic to the last in Himachal and Gujarat. There were 6.46 lakh polling stations. I would be grateful if you can convey this. 6.46 lakhs polling stations, and minimum on each station there are 3 units of the EVM, which is ballot unit, which is the VVPAT and which is the CPU. Of all these 6.46 lakhs polling stations, many of which are as tough as this. And I'll tell you how they are tough. अभी आपने इस वीडियो में देखा कि एक रोप वे पर एक व्यक्ति को लाया जा रहा था, उसको हार्ट की प्रॉब्लम हो गई, ही वॉज ए पर्सनल एम्प्लॉय, ही वॉज ए पोलिंग ऑफिसर, उसको लाना मुश्किल हो गया, और एक जगह आपने देखा गाड़ी नहीं निकाली जा रही थी. Exactly in these 13 elections, only 4 incidents happened, जो दिन भर टीवी पर चलती रही, दिन भर. एक असम में जब रात के 10-11 बजे भारी बारिश में वो दूसरी प्राइवेट गाड़ी में आए. It was a violation of the protocol, no doubt. But I am just trying to tell you the scale. Out of 6.46 lakhs, only 4. One was in Tamil Nadu, where somebody came on a scooter in a hurry to deposit the machines. One was in West Bengal, and one was in UP. That's all. And imagine what happens whole day. Because I understand it gets more TRP, but it whole day this is shown. And the employees, when we talk to them, believe me, it's very painful for them. They say that 6.46 lakhs minus 4 are just forgotten how much work they have done. So just to sensitize you, nothing more. Coming to the informed voting, this is our KYC app. All the citizenry can know about the candidates, their criminal background. This is about the C-Vigil, I'm sorry. The vigilant citizens, they can make any complaints, and all these details in detail we have given in each of these states, so that voters in those 3 states of Tripura, Meghalaya and Nagaland can use this. And believe me, it is helping us. You remember in the recently held elections, we confiscated goods close to how much, around 900 crores as against 40-50 crores of the last 2018 elections in Himachal and Gujarat. Large part of it was helpful to us. And repeatedly telling through the medium of the press, our friends, it helps us to ensure that the elections are free and the inducement free. We will also deploy observers in these 3 states. 64 expenditure observers. We have identified expenditure sensitive constituencies. In some states they are more. Out of these three, in some states they are more. Because each state is different, each state's context is different. We will also have 69 general observers and we will have 33 police observers in these places. And large number of instructions have been given to enforcement agencies to curb the flow of cash, to asking banks to keep a watch on the accounts, also asking them again, the use of money also people are becoming smarter. In last time we came to a situation where the bank account is used to transfer money through the ballots or something to the large number of voters. We have asked banks to keep a watch on this. We'll monitor the ballots, we'll monitor the payments through electronic means, and we'll also monitor the withdrawal of used cash or deposits of used cash in any account in these three states, and also wherever elections are held. We have also directed the Narcotics Bureau and the State Excise to very, very strictly look for drugs. Because this, not in this area, otherwise also you saw it in Bengal, you saw it in Punjab and Gujarat also, last elections, large number of seizures were made. So, drugs also we have very, very strictly said. So, in nutshell, our paramilitary forces have already this time reached these three states. And they are already involved in area domination, and because of that, I am again happy to report, because of that, the incidents of violence so far are nil. And we are hopeful, we have told our DOs, and citizens also want this not to happen. They are also very much in favor, and we have appealed to them while we were there, that please help us by knowing any possibility through C-Vigil or something, bring it to our notice so that we can get your help to curb it. Model Code of Conduct will now come into force in these three states. And next, if we can show you the schedule, the dates would be something like this. Tripura, and we have taken let me tell you first this. The date of issue of notification in case of Tripura would be January 21. And last date of making nominations January 30. We will also put it on social media account of ours immediately, so that you can take this. You can put it right now. So if you want, it can be downloaded from our sweep handle. Meghalaya and Nagaland would have it on 31st January, and thereafter both of them have the poll together. The date of poll would be February 16th in case of Tripura and February 27th. So we are finishing all the polling in the February 27th, within February itself. This is to take into account, this has taken into account that the examinations schedules are also taken into account, and that children are not really disturbed by this to the extent possible. So since most of the exams are by and large in March, we have tried to finish this in February itself. And no polling station is in any school which is a CBSE related school whose CBSE schedule has come. So there is only one paper before this, but we have ensured that in no school there is a CBSE center or a CBSE school. Next, this is all the dates. We are also having by-elections. There are by-elections now, whatever are the vacancies reported to us so far. We are all covering them, and this is the tradition again we are starting, not to wait. As soon as there are vacancies, we try and finish up, though we can wait technically for 6 months. But we are finishing it, keeping it update, giving the electorate to have their representatives. So there is one AC each in Arunachal, Jharkhand, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, 2 ACs in Maharashtra, and 1 parliamentary constituency in Lakshadweep. The details would be available of these names of these constituencies, and the schedule would be like this. They will go with the Meghalaya and Nagaland poll on the same day. That means the February 27th would be date of poll, and January 31st being the date of notification. Thank you, friends. Again, through you, uh, I want to appeal to all the voters to come forward, participate in the large number, and strengthen the democracy, deepen it further. And through the media, I'm sure all this will reach them, and media this time would also be far more receptive to showing some good stories of the election. There are large number of good stories which are being produced. We have also taken on ourselves. We have asked the DOs to please document those success stories. Please document. So they are also in the process. I'm sure they will also do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. I would now invite all your questions. Kindly introduce yourself along with your name and media organization before you begin the question. Any questions, or sir's opening statement has been detailed enough? Shailesh Sharp. माइक पकड़ा दें।
दोबारा एक बार बोलेंगे आप?
We have gone by the past trends and we have tried to take the precautionary measures in advance. ऐसा कोई otherwise input नहीं है, but just to be extra cautious, seeing the last trends. और धीरे धीरे हम सबको ये बताना चाहते हैं कि ये जरूरत नहीं है. डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस में, लोकतंत्र में इसकी हिंसा का स्थान नहीं है और लोग धीरे धीरे समझ रहे हैं. They're well aware.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. It's a...
Sir, to the right.
Mr. Rajiv Kumar, sir, there are large number of assembly elections scheduled for this year, but there's been a lot of discussion around Jammu and Kashmir. The delimitation process there has been completed. Are there any concerns, any particular issues related to that particular election? What is the view of the Election Commission? Because there's, of course, multiple factors like security, weather, etc. So, how soon can we expect some news in that regard?
One more. Shefali ji. If
So,
there is one more,
to
then...
the right here.
Hello sir, Aishwarya here from India Today Aaj Tak. Sir, you have been talking about the fact that fake news has been increasing. So will there be any special things that you will keep in mind with regards to these 3 states? Any special scheme that you will be putting in place?
About J&K, as you are aware, the process of delimitation is complete. The process of SSR is complete. The process of identifying, fixing, rearranging the polling stations after delimitations is also complete. Appointment of ROs for those particular constituencies wherever the changes have taken place. Appointment of AEROs, and entire process is complete. So we are aware that once the process is complete, elections are due. They must be held. And taking the weather and taking the security concerns and all other factors, other elections at that time and things, we are conscious that any place which is due for elections, it's our duty that they get the government in place as mandated, and that's our mandate. We'll be alive to this at the right time, with the weather condition, with the security conditions, with the schedule of the other states put together, and all the other factors which we take into account. As regards fake news, it's a very painful situation and I want to explain to this through you. एक ही झूठ को बार बार बोलने से बहुत सारे वीडियो, बहुत सारे मैसेजेस सोशल मीडिया पे ऐसे हैं जो सबको मालूम है पूर्णतः झूठे हैं. जैसे न्यूज़पेपर जैसी लैंग्वेज में एक बॉक्स में लिख के उसको फेक न्यूज़ के रूप में चल रहा है, एज इफ इट वाज पब्लिश्ड इन न्यूज़पेपर. एक चलता है कि एक पुराने सीईसी साहब ने कहा कि एक पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट उनको एट्रीब्यूट होता है. इसी तरीके से कोई गलत गलत जगह के बहुत सारे हैकिंग के केसेस आते हैं. फेक न्यूज इज ए चैलेंज नॉट हियर, वर्ल्ड ओवर, एंड इट्स ए चैलेंज वर्ल्ड ओवर फॉर द डेमोक्रेसीज, नॉट ओनली इन इलेक्शंस but also in the other narratives. As of now, we have directed all our DOs to have a social media wing in their offices, in the SP's offices and at the CEOs' offices. We have also asked them to do the content analysis, do the sentiment analysis, do the fact checking and verification. We have also asked them, if there is a news, please do not wait because it's only 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour before it becomes wild, and it's no point reacting to it thereafter because damage is done. We have also asked them to join the issue, say that you are finding the facts and you would revert, so that it is halted at that stage. We have also asked them that please don't stop at it. After filing the cases under the appropriate sections, we have also documented and circulating them sections under which are available in the statute, either in the IPC or in the IT Act or in the Representation of People Act. We have asked them, after doing that, write to the platforms to remove those kind of fake news, which as of now under Code of Ethics they have agreed to do. And so it's our combined duty that we display, we do our action in stopping the fake news, identifying, और जितना जल्दी वो फेक को फेक कहें, झूठ को बार बार ना बोलने दें, नहीं तो 10 बार झूठ बोला जाता है तो वो लगता है जैसे सही बोला जा रहा है. और आपसे भी अनुरोध है, सिटीजन से भी अनुरोध है कि कम से कम फेक लग रहा है तो उसको री-फॉरवर्ड ना करें, आगे ना बढ़ाएं, अपना विवेक इस्तेमाल करें.
राजीव सर, मैं रवि त्रिपाठी हूं जी न्यूज से.
कृपया अपना नाम और मीडिया ऑर्गेनाइजेशन करके शुरू करें.
मैं पीयूष पांडे हूं, TV9 भारतवर्ष से. सर, मेरा सवाल आरवीएम को लेकर के है कि आरवीएम को लेकर के अभी आपने हाल ही में बैठक की थी. क्या उम्मीद है कि इस साल आने वाले किसी भी विधानसभा चुनाव में उस व्यवस्था को लागू किया जा सकेगा, और क्या प्रगति है, अगर आप उस बारे में कुछ जानकारी दे सकें?
सर, उसी से जुड़ा सवाल है. मैं रवि त्रिपाठी हूं जी न्यूज से, कि क्या अपोजिशन पार्टीज को डेमो देने का जो मीटिंग था उसमें आप अपोजिशन पार्टीज को सेटिस्फाई कर पाए, क्योंकि तमाम तरह के सवाल उनके थे, तमाम तरह की उनके आशंकाएं थी. क्या आप उनको संतुष्ट कर पाए, और क्या 2024 इसका टारगेट है लागू करने का, या उससे पहले की विधानसभा में भी आरईवीएम को लागू किया जा सकता है? जी,
इस विषय पर किसी और का प्रश्न है तो पूछ लें, इस पर पर्टिकुलरली इस विषय पर
रिलेटेड हो तो आप यहाँ राइट पे. संदीप, आप
आरवीएम पर किसी का कोई प्रश्न है तो पूछ लें, ताकि बार बार. आई विल कम बैक टू दिस. देखिए, क्रॉस टू 94.5 crores is the number of voters in the country. At last elections we had a voting of 67.6%. अगर राज्यों की एक विवेचना करें तो कुछ राज्य ऐसे हैं जहां इससे ऊपर परसेंटेज में वोटिंग होती है हमेशा, 67% से ऊपर, और कुछ राज्य ऐसे हैं जहां 60 से 67 होती है, या 65 से 67 होती है, और कुछ ऐसे हैं जहां 65 से भी नीचे होती है. उन राज्यों की विवेचना आप खुद ही कर सकते हैं, हम सबकी वेबसाइट पर है, मुझे कहने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो करीब करीब क्लोज टू 30 crore पीपल इन दिस कंट्री वोटर्स डू नॉट वोट. और उसके मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स हैं, कोई एक फैक्टर नहीं है. उसमें यूथ अपैथी भी बहुत बड़ा कारण है. यंग वोटर्स समहाउ, जितनी तेजी से हम प्रयास कर रहे हैं कि उनको वोटर बनाएं, उनके घर जाएं, उनको मोटिवेट करें, उनके लिए फिल्म बनाएं, उतनी ही बैकिंग वो अभी उस प्रोसेस में नहीं आ पा रहे हैं. और अर्बन अपैथी भी बहुत बड़ा कारण है. अगर आप 2000 पिछला इलेक्शन देखें जनरल, तो जो फर्स्ट 10 सबसे लोअर प्लेसेस हैं जहां वोटिंग हुई है, ये भी हमारी वेबसाइट पर है, स्टैटिस्टिक्स बुक में आप देख सकते हैं खुद. आप कहेंगे तो हम भी आपको दे देंगे. उसमें 4, 5, 6 सबसे बड़े शहर हैं. एक शहर में हम अभी गए थे एसएसआर शुरू करने, सबसे लोएस्ट शहर है. उसके बाद में थर्ड कारण सबसे बड़ा एक जो डोमेस्टिक माइग्रेंट्स है वो भी है. तो उसमें बहुत सारे मुद्दे हैं. कौन डोमेस्टिक माइग्रेंट्स होंगे, उनकी परिभाषा क्या होगी, नेशनल बूथ्स कैसे बनेंगे, स्टेट के अंदर पहले शुरू करेंगे कि स्टेट के बाहर शुरू करेंगे. मेजॉरिटी जो माइग्रेशन है वो विद इन स्टेट है, उसके कारण भी हैं. पढ़ाई भी कारण है, जॉब भी कारण है, शादी भी कारण है. सबसे बड़ा कारण शादी भी है. सो कारण कौन से होंगे, परिभाषा क्या होगी, बूथ कैसे बनेंगे, ये सब पेपर्स कॉन्सेप्ट देके हमने सभी राजनीतिक दलों की नेशनल और रीजनल से राय मांगी थी, कॉन्सेप्ट पेपर सर्कुलेट किया था। आप लोगों ने भी देखा ही होगा वो पेपर, उसमें सारे मुद्दे उठे हुए हैं। उसी में एक टेक्नोलॉजिकल विषय भी आता है कि अगर ऐसा माना जाता है सबके द्वारा तो टेक्नोलॉजी क्या होगी। तो वो भी हमने एक मशीन बनाई थी जो 72 बूथ्स को ले सकती है। तो मैं कहूंगा, जैसे आपने पूछा कि मीटिंग मेरी समझ से अत्यंत सक्सेसफुल रही फॉर वैरायटी ऑफ रीजन्स। मैं उसको आपके माध्यम से जो लोगों ने पार्ट लिया उनको भी धन्यवाद करना चाहता हूं। पूरा दिन बैठ के लोगों ने इस विषय पे चर्चा की। दिस इज 30 करोड़ मिसिंग वोटर्स का जो मुद्दा है वो आज मेन स्ट्रीम में आ गया है। अर्बन वोटर्स, यूथ एंड डोमेस्टिक माइग्रेंट्स। तो ये जो गैप है ये आज एक नेशनल परिप्रेक्ष्य में हर एक की चर्चा में, हर एक के विषय में आ गया। तो किसी भी लोकतंत्र में निर्णय लेना और उसका समाधान पहुंचने में थोड़ा तो समय लगेगा। इट्स नॉट ए इजी सब्जेक्ट, बट everybody agreed that this is an area where all of us need to work together to bring all our voters to the extent possible to the booth, to enable them to booth, facilitate them to vote. तो ये अपने आप में कम बात नहीं है। दूसरा, उस मीटिंग में सबसे बड़ा विषय एक और जो उपलब्धि है कि उसमें राष्ट्रीय दल भी थे और राज्य स्तरीय दल भी थे। 11 बजे, 11:30 बजे शुरू करने के बाद 5, 5:30 बजे तक सब लोग एक दूसरे की बात सुनने के लिए लगातार बैठे। नहीं, ऐसा नहीं हुआ कि अपनी बात कही और लोग चले गए। तो एक जो समावेशी माहौल, इतना बड़ा मंच, close to 50 political parties together, not an easy thing to keep discussing whole day without getting into some kind of a other narratives, is a very, very great success. We are hopeful that it's a work in progress and समय उनका बढ़ाया गया है रिटन कमेंट्स देने का, जो कि अब 28 फरवरी हमने कर दिया है उन सबकी रिक्वायरमेंट पर। सो इसके बाद में, कमेंट्स आने के बाद में, ये एक वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस है। 30 करोड़ लोगों को किस तरीके से वोटिंग में भागीदारी कराया जाए, ये विषय सबके लिए चिंता का विषय है और सबके लिए परस्यू करने का विषय है। ये एक सहमति जरूर बन चुकी है जिस पे हम आगे काम करते रहेंगे।
We'll take the last question here.
Sir,
Sandeep.
Namaskar, here is Sandeep from Bartaman newspaper. My question is on Tripura, Meghalaya, Nagaland voting. Till now, on security issues, nothing happened. It's very good. But my question is, how many central forces deployed in these 3 states, specifically, and previous year, what was the number? Thank you.
Sir,
If there is a related question, नाम बता दें, कौन कहां से बोल रहे हैं प्लीज।
मैं पूनम हूं अमर उजाला से। मेरा इसी से जुड़ा हुआ प्रश्न है। सर, चुनाव आयोग ने पिछले दिनों ज्यादा सीटों पर भी बेहतर चुनाव करके दिखाया। जैसे आपने बताया कि स्थितियां बहुत अनुकूल हैं, बावजूद इसके ये 2 चरण में चुनाव क्यों हुए, इसकी क्या वजह है त्रिपुरा में अलग चुनाव कराने की? और दूसरा नंबर कि वहां के जो हालात हैं, बॉर्डर इश्यूज एक बहुत बड़ा मुद्दा है, उसके लिए क्या कुछ इंतजाम किए गए हैं? सर,
इसी से जुड़ा है अगर, अच्छा आप पूछ लीजिए।
अलग है सर मेरा सवाल। सर, बीएसपी चीफ मायावती ने अभी थोड़े दिनों पहले फिर से एक बार ईवीएम पर सवाल खड़े किए और कहा कि भारत जैसे लोकतंत्र को बैलेट पेपर्स पर वापस जाना चाहिए। उन्होंने कहा पूरी की पूरी दाल में कुछ काला नजर आता है। वीवीपीटी पर भी अपनी आशंकाएं वो की। तो इलेक्शन कमीशन कैसे देखता है इसको, क्योंकि 2024 के आम चुनाव आगे हैं और राजनीतिक दल जब तब इस तरह की आशंकाएं अपनी उठाते रहते हैं।
इस विषय पर कोई और सवाल तो नहीं है, पूछ लीजिए अगर है तो। सर, थोड़ा इसके बाद में नहीं, आज लास्ट बार में इस विषय का जवाब दे देता हूँ।
Can we have questions?
Now let's finish it. About the forces in these 3 states and why in 2 phases. As per tradition, we do not tell you the exact number, because it is not security wise correct. But what would be the impact? All the polling stations in the 3 states would have CAPF. This is number one. Sufficient forces have been given. All the polling stations would have CAPF. Most of the border areas, there are large number of interstate and the international borders, जिसमें से कुछ सेंसिटिव भी हैं जो बहुत सारी इंड्यूसमेंट रिलेटेड एक्टिविटीज हैं उसके लिए, जिसे मैंने पहले बताया था, उनमें भी काफी हद तक सब जगह में सीएपीएफ का इस्तेमाल होगा. इन एडिशन there are already paramilitary forces which are doing that job of guarding the borders. A fantastic job as the sentinels of those borders. They will keep doing this, and we are confident that citizenry अब इस तरह की कोई चीज नहीं चाहती है, रेसिस्ट करती है, और हम उसको काफी हद तक ठीक करने की प्रयास कर रहे हैं और सफल होना चाहिए. फिर से आपने एक प्रश्न पूछा, वो सेटल्ड इशू है, उसको जवाब देने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है, बहुत बार सेटल हो चुका है. लेकिन फिर भी चूंकि आपने ये भी कहा कि आने वाले समय में फिर वो मुद्दे उठेंगे, तो बार बार वो मुद्दे उठेंगे, बार बार जिक्र होगा उनका, बार बार नए वीडियो बनेंगे, तो इसलिए जरूरी है कि मैं उसके बारे में फिर आपको आज दोबारा से बता दूं. प्लीज रिपीट इट व्हेन एवर इट इज रिक्वायर्ड एज एन आंसर फ्रॉम अस. दिस इशू हैज बीन रेज्ड इन द कोर्ट्स नंबर ऑफ टाइम्स, नंबर ऑफ हाई कोर्ट्स एंड ऑल्सो इन द ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट. मैं जस्ट इसकी हम लोग एक वो भी बनवाएंगे जो आपको सबको सर्कुलेट करेंगे डिसीजंस की. जनरली व्हाट हैज बीन हेल्ड, मैं जस्ट उसमें 1 2 3 4 सम चीजें पढ़ रहा हूं. No question of introducing virus or bug in the EVMs. This is what are the decisions. No question. No question of invalid votes in EVM. This is also, these are all pronouncements which I am reading. I am not reading myself. No rigging is possible. After introduction of section 16A in the Act, use of EVM is legislatively required. So Commission is duty bound to continue to use this till it is in the Act. The invention is undoubtedly a great achievement and a national pride. It was held that EVMs are foolproof devices for counting and allegations of tampering are baseless. As recent as in 2021 and as recent as in September 22, the honorable courts have termed them as publicity interest litigations, have also fined those who have gone to the court. So there is a legislative process, and then we have also published the results. Again, let me tell you this time again. As mandated by the honorable court, we now count 5 VVPATs per assembly constituency. So total we have counted 36,000 VVPATs across the length and breadth of the country. 36,000 VVPATs have been counted so far after the elections, and where political parties, candidates, agents, all are present, and not even in one there is a difference of 1 vote. So how much empirical evidence, which is giving you more than 99.999, in this case 100% satisfaction, can be questioned. तो और हमने एक लिस्ट पेपर्स में भी दी थी एडवर्टाइजमेंट में कि पिछले इलेक्शंस में कितनी बार रूलिंग पार्टी के अगेंस्ट में दूसरी पार्टियां इसके माध्यम से इलेक्शन जीती हैं. ये भी हमने लिस्ट दी थी. और कितनी जगह में it has given results as per the expectation of parties or even beyond the expectation of those parties who have been challenging this. तो ये विषय सेटल्ड है, इसको बार बार सेंसेशनलाइज आज आपने कहा, क्योंकि एक जिक्र आपने कर दिया कि अभी आगे आने वाले समय में उठेगा. हमारे एक पुराने सीसी साहब का फेक न्यूज चलता है, इस पर हर बार आ जाता है, वो कृष्णामूर्ति साहब का. उन्होंने कहा था कि इसको हैक किया जा सकता है. वो एक किसी ने, जैसे आप लोग पेपर पे लिखते हैं न्यूज प्रिंट वाले पर, उस तरह का एक लिख के बनाया हुआ है और वो हर बार चल जाता है। तो मैं इसको अगर इसने हर पार्टी को जिताया है, जो कंप्लेंट करते उनको भी जिताया है। तो अगर मैं कहूं एक बार, अगर ईवीएम बोल सकती तो क्या कहती? तो शायद ऐसे कहती, जिसने तेरे सर पर तोहमत रखी है, मैंने उसके भी घर की लाज रखी है। थैंक यू।
Thank you
Sir,
so
one
much.
question,
Let's,
sir, one
let's
question.
bring this to an end, please.
Sir, one question, sir, please.
We have another meeting.
Sir,
Thank
one
you.
question, please.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
मैडम बोल रही है जिसको मैं बोलूं उसी को दो, मैसेज आ रहा है।